Stage 1. From the start of planting to 13 days after planting, 1 day after planting to 7 days after planting. Note: wet fertilizer on the face for 1,000 liters of water to form a dilute solution. Water the melon through a drip irrigation system. Solution before mixing stool: easy water 0.087, pH water 7.2. Solution after mixing stool: easy 1.3, pH 6.2. Water for irrigation 0.7 to 0.9 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times 10 to 12 times, depending on weather conditions. Role of nutrients by melon growth stage. Nitrogen and potassium promote strong early growth. Phosphorus maximize root development. Calcium boosts root and leaf growth. Boron, zinc, manganese, and molybdenum ensure good shoot growth. 7 days after planting to 13 days after planting. Increase easy, increasing 10% all nutrient and irrigation water quantity, number of irrigation times. Solution after mixing stool: easy 1.5, pH 6.1. The amount of irrigation water 0.9 to 1.1 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times 13 to 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Stage 2. From 13 days after planting to 22 days after planting. Solution after mixing stool: easy 1.7, pH 6.1. Water for irrigation 1.3 to 1.4 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times 14 to 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Role of nutrients by melon growth stage. Nitrogen and phosphorus ensure continued growth. Potassium and magnesium maximize concentration in leaf tissue prior to flowering. Calcium maintain vigorous plant growth. Boron ensure good flowering and fruit set. Sulfur essential for protein synthesis to ensure good leaf quality and thus grow is not limited. Other micronutrients ensure good leaf quality and thus grow is not limiting. Stage 3. From 20 days after planting to 28 days after planting. Pollination. Solution after mixing stool: easy 2.0, pH 6.0. Water for irrigation 1.5 to 1.6 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times max 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Role of nutrients in this stage: flowering and pollination. Potassium maintain plant growth and maximize flower numbers. Phosphorus fruit development. Calcium maximize crop reproductive development and to ensure good supplies during early fruiting. Magnesium improve flowering and crop production. Boron and zinc maximize flower set development and fruiting. Manganese, molybdenum, and zinc support good growth. Stage 4. From 28 days after planting to 38 days after planting. Solution after mixing stool: easy 2.1, pH 6.0. Water for irrigation 1.5 to 1.7 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times, max 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Role of nutrients by melon growth stage. Nitrogen in reduced amounts to maintain fruit field. Potassium to minimize fruit disorders. Calcium maintain good ride, performance and quality, and reduce BER risks. Magnesium maximum requirements for quality fruit production are at this stage. Boron ensure good skin finish and to add calcium mobility. Stage 5 from 38 days after planting to 48 days after planting. Solution after mixing stool EC 1.85, pH 6.0, water for irrigation 1.7 to 2.0 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times, max 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Role of nutrients by melon growth stage. Nitrogen in reduced amount to maintain fruit field and high sugars. Excess can lead to rots and skin blemishes. Potassium maximize high potassium levels in the fruit and minimize disorders. Calcium maintain good fruit firmness and quality and reduce BER risks. Boron ensure even ripening and good calcium supply to the fruit. Magnesium, iron, manganese, and zinc promote healthy fruit field. Stage 6 from 48 days after planting to 60 days after planting. Note: reduce EC by 0.5 per day until day 60. Reduce water per day according to EC to increase brix level. Solution after mixing stool EC 1.7 to 1.3, pH 6.0, water for irrigation 1.7 to 2.0 liters per planting, depending on weather conditions. Number of watering times, max 16 times, depending on weather conditions. Note: store fertilizer from day 60 until the harvest, which will reduce the amount of nitrate in fruits create stage for melons. Test brix level at 65 days after planting. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe.